Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? The Rays, I don't think, are ever going to lose a game for the rest of eternity. My goodness, Chris Sale absolutely stinks, but the Rays are really good. We're going to talk about the Rays tonight. Aaron Boone ejected against the Guardians today. We're going to break that one down. Jordan Walker, I think, is going to be one of the best players of all time. He is in exclusive company, and we're going to talk about it. Jared Kelenic, I think, has finally arrived. He hit an absolute bomb today. We'll go take a look at where that one landed. Francisco Lindor helping the Mets win their series against the Padres today. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get to it. Baseball fans, how you doing? Hello. We got a lot of people in here to start things off. A lot of familiar faces. Welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for stopping by to talk some baseball tonight. How you doing? We got a lot of moderators here in the chat. Jacob, Zachary, Nicholas, thank you for stopping by. You guys are amazing, always helping me out, moderating the chat. Do appreciate that. Who else we got here in the chat? We got Ed Bagley. Ed Bagley, one of our members here, a longtime friend of the channel. How you doing, my friend? We got Aiden Davila in the chat. Chico, he says, raise up. Kira Owens, longtime supporter of the channel. Raise up, she says. 12-0. Kira, how you doing? Welcome. Who else we got in here? Carla Sanchez. Man, her Dodgers aren't very good right now. Carla, what the heck's going on with your Dodgers? My goodness. They play today? No, I don't think they play today. How you doing? Analytical side of sports. How you doing? Hot take. The Texas Rangers will win the World Series. Well, they're going to need Corey Seager. Unfortunately, he went to the IL. That hamstring is not doing very good for him right now. But I do like the Rangers. I think they have a chance. If they can get in to the playoffs, I don't think you want to mess with that team. That's one of those teams. Don't let them get in and don't let them get hot. But I like that hot take from you. How you doing? Steven Strang, is that Ken Griffey in the waiting screen? Steven, yes it is. Yes it is Ken Griffey Jr. I love that little animation thing. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of that. How you doing? Poker, when will Tatis come back? I don't know. That guy's in the minor leagues hitting home runs and jumping all around the bases and celebrating his home runs. I don't know what the heck that guy's doing right now, but who knows? He's probably getting kind of close. I haven't really heard too much. The Dodgers are playing right now. That's right. It's West Coast game. It's too late. It's almost my bedtime over here. But how you doing, everyone? How you doing? Welcome. And listen, I told you all yesterday. I mean, usually I would stream on Wednesday nights anyway. But I'm really going to see if I can get into these post-game recaps around this time, maybe like 5 times a week, like Sunday through Thursday. To me, I feel like it's just a nice little way to talk about baseball with all of you guys every single night. So expect me to be going live probably every single night, Sunday through Thursday. Probably not Friday, Saturday. I need to, take a little break before I jump off a cliff because this stuff can burn you out, man. I'll tell you. Especially, I'm working during the day too, and I'm getting close to the end of the school year. It's just a busy time right now. We got testing coming up. It's just a busy time. My head hurts. Everything hurts. My body hurts. I'm just a broken man right now. But baseball makes me feel better, except for my Red Sox. They stink. I don't know what the heck's going on with my Red Sox right now. But everyone, Aiden Davila, what about power rankings you're saying? Power rankings I'm probably going to bring back in May. I'm not really going to get into the power rankings too soon. I find power rankings this early to be kind of silly. Just my opinion. I feel like you need a little longer than the first month to really get an idea of how these teams are. That's just me. I'm seeing, people doing power rankings the first week of baseball. It's like, I mean, come on now. Like, come on. A little early if you ask me. That's just my opinion. But we'll just have to wait and see how everything shakes out. And probably first week of May, probably I'm going to bring back power rankings. That'll be on Sunday nights. That's always been our night to do the power rankings. So let's get to it, everyone. Let's get to it. But before I do get started, as always, if you BLEAV, and you'll get a 50% welcome bonus when you use the code BLEAV. What's going on? Hold on. Technical difficulties, everyone. Okay, we're good. But yeah, BetOnline, your number one source for all your sports betting needs, whether that's baseball, basketball. We got the hockey playoffs coming up, UFC. So go check out BetOnline. Don't forget, we are partners here with SeatGeek as well. Use my code Hyde. You get $20 off. And don't forget about Prize Picks. Use my code Ginger, and they'll give you a 100% deposit match. All right, everyone, let's get to it here. Listen, I don't want to start this show talking about my Red Sox every single time. You know, I don't want to show my giraffe neck Robbie too much, but I kind of have to start with my Red Sox because they're going up against the Rays, who are off to a historic start right now. They're 12-0, and I can't start with any other team but the Rays. So let's get to it here. What else is there to say? This team, they just keep on winning. It reminds me of, 2021, where that team just found ways to win every single game. They'll either beat you in a close game. They'll blow you out. Their pitching might not be there one game. Their offense will come up big. Their offense might not be there, and their pitching will come up big. Guys off the bench will contribute. Guys down in the minor leagues will get called up and contribute. It's just, I don't know, man. Coming into this season, and I've talked about this every single time, and I think I will say this every single stream because I'm going to eventually eat my own words. I predicted the Rays to not make the playoffs. Could that still happen? Sure, but right now that's looking like a terrible prediction. I think Giraffe Neck Mark did the same thing. I don't know what it was. It's just, I look at this Rays team every year, and I thought to myself, man, I can't not pick the Rays to make it. But then I kind of went with that thing where, a lot of people were saying, oh, they had a lot of injuries last year. They're all going to come back this year, and they're going to be amazing again. And I feel like when everyone starts saying the same thing, it tends not to happen. So I like to go against the grain, a lot. And I went against the grain on what everyone was saying about all these injuries and how they're going to be better this year. And I didn't want to buy into it. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't know. But I don't know what else to say. This team is just phenomenal. We don't ever see it. We don't see this happen really ever. We saw the Kansas City Royals. They started 9-0 back in 2003. We've had some teams back in the 80s, get off to crazy starts. I think it was, I'm going blank. I think it was the Brewers that started off 13-0. I'm going a little blank on that one, but they're approaching history. The longest streak to open a season is 13 wins. So tomorrow, if they get the sweep of the Red Sox, which, my God, can we please not get swept? I hate Tropicana Field. I'll always hate Tropicana Field with all of my heart. I hate that place. Can they please just move so I can just at least start new bad memories at another field? I don't ever want to go back to Tropicana Field ever again. But let's just get to the game here. There's so much to talk about in this game just because Randy Rosarina, he was on fire here. Wander Franco, a big game here tonight. For me, I think the story that I'm going to start off with is Taj Bradley, their number one prospect, getting called up for this game. Dude, oh my God. He looked so good in this game. Man. He went 5 innings, struck out 8. Hey, can someone tell Chris Sale to maybe put on a performance like that? Could someone tell him, please? Because that would be rather nice. Taj Bradley, really solid. 78 pitches, 42 of those fastballs. He was working in a cutter. He had a curveball going. Good velocity. Man, this guy was just looking great. It just a little jittery in the beginning. He was having a little bit of an issue with command early on, but he really settled in. Everything was just looking great. Taj Bradley, this guy's going to be the real deal. Man, go take a look at his performance. Go look at the highlights of that. He just looks great. Man, the guy throws hard, got good stuff. That cutter was looking really good. Man, You just got to love it, man. I mean, four-seamer, got up to 98 on the gun here. He was averaging right around 96 miles an hour tonight. Man, Taj Bradley, he's going to be good, man. He's going to be good. He was doing a post-game interview. I was watching it on Bally Sports. He was just it's pretty fun watching, these prospects get interviewed after games, because it's funny. I will always think of myself as just a giant kid, but hey, here I am, not getting any younger over here, in my 30s now, and I'm seeing these kids, and I'm like, man, this kid is like, how old is he? Like, what, 20, 21, 22? And it's like, they are literally like what I was when I was in college. Like, it's crazy. And they're, he was doing the interview. He was just saying how excited he was, and his mom, woke up at 5 a.m. to come to the game, and, had a long drive. And, it's just pretty cool, watching them sort of like soak it all in, like after the game. If that was me, if I was doing a post game and I just, was just coming up in the major leagues, I wouldn't even be able to talk. Like, it would be crazy, man. So Taj Bradley, good first start for him. 5 innings, 8 Ks for him. On the other hand, Chris Sale was absolute butt cheeks tonight. I'm done. Like, I mean, listen, I know it's early. I'm not trying to overreact, but Chris Sale, I've been saying this now. Listen, you don't got the stuff that you used to have. You don't got it. You got to do something different. You got to do what Kurt Schilling had to do later in his career. He didn't have the velocity anymore. He didn't have the bite on his stuff anymore. He had to do something different. And Chris Sale, you got to do something different. You got to stop trying to just huck it past these guys. So I don't know what it is. It's like, it's just watching him, it still looks like he's just trying to overpower these guys. And like, I don't know. It's just not there. When you look at the fastball average velocity tonight, he was averaging 93. And this is a guy this guy was like pumping 97, like 96 on average, back in 2018. He does not have the velocity anymore. I will say the Randy Arozarena home run, that was not a bad pitch. Arozarena, I think that was just a really good piece of hitting. The sinker that he threw to Arozarena on that pitch, it was out of the strike zone. Arozarena, he's just good. He just poked it oppo, man, and I think that was more of a good piece of hitting. So I'll give Chris Sale a little bit of, I'll go easy on him there, but it's just, I don't know. He's just not looking right. He's just all over the place. He looks good here and there, and then there's times where he's just getting eaten alive out there. He's got to do something, man. I mean, he was giving up an average exit velocity, or the max exit velocity that he ended up giving up was just around 108. This guy's getting torched. If we take a look at the average exit velocity, he was giving up 98 miles an hour on average on the fastball. Like, this dude's getting nailed right now. Like, slider, guys are averaging 95 miles an hour of exit velocity. I don't know, man. Yogi Dude, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? Do you think Kelenic is for real this time? I do. I do think Jarred Kelenic is for real this time. I think he's I give credit to him, because this is a guy, a lot of hype for him, and the last couple of years have just been really, really tough for him. And it's good to see. I'm glad he's putting it all together. His swing, he just looks comfortable. He doesn't look tight out there. If you go look at highlights of him in the last couple of years, it just, I don't know, just something felt, he looks stiff out there. Mechanics were, he was always working with his mechanics, always trying different things, trying different stances. Now he just looks like he's figured it out a little bit. He's off to a great start. I'll talk about Kelenic here in just a little bit, Yogi Dude. I'll thank you for your super chat. But getting back to the game here, again, the Red Sox, they battled back. The Rays had themselves a pretty sizable lead at one point. Kike Hernandez, he came into this game with an 0 for 28 slump. RBI double in the 5th. That broke it. My goodness. That had to feel like just the most amazing thing ever, just getting on base. Kike has been really going through it, but he contributed there. A big rally in the 7th. Actually, Kike had a pop-up there. Harold Ramirez and Emmanuel Margot, they had a bit of a miscommunication out there, and the ball dropped right between them, so he was able to get on. And then Devers came up, 3-run home run off of, I always forget how to, is it Poche? I always forget how they say it. But he struck Devers out the other day, or yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Going blank. But he struck him out like he was just had him fooled all over the place. He struck him out in a fastball right down the middle, and Devers was just looked like what he was just thinking, what the heck? How did I not swing at that? But then he comes up today, 3-run bomb. That was awesome. That made it 8-7. But the Rays, they tacked on another run there in the 8th. That was weird. That was a weird play because Verdugo, he made the catch, made a good play there, and then it was weird because Verdugo, he came up with it, and then he threw it in. But then he sort of reacted in a way where he like put his hands on his head like, oh no, what did I just do? I think there's either two things that happened here with Alex Verdugo there in the bottom of the 8th that led to Wander Franco scoring. So Wander Franco was on third, and then on the catch, Franco thought it was going to drop. So when Verdugo made the catch, Franco actually had to go back to third. He had to tag up, and he had a little bit to go. It's not like he just had to take a couple of steps. He actually had to, run a little bit back to the bag, but then he still went home, and he had plenty of time to score. Two things happened here. Verdugo either forgot he was on third base, but I don't know about that because he threw the ball in like really quick, or he just forgot there was only one out when he made the catch. I don't know. It was just a very weird thing, and like Verdugo ended up just not even making like a great throw. I think Verdugo he had like a brain fart, honestly. I think he just threw it into the cutoff man instead of actually trying to make a good throw home. I don't know what happened there. It was very odd. Like, I don't know if there's going to be any post-game comments about that. Anyway, it didn't lead to really anything. The Red Sox couldn't get anything going there. In the end, Fairbanks picks up another save. That guy is just nasty. There was actually a pretty rough moment in this game. Zach Kelly for the Red Sox, he ended up coming in and he threw a pitch, ended up hitting a guy, and just immediately broke down on the mound. Not just physically, but just like he actually got really upset there. Like he was in rough shape. He was a pretty emotional on the mound. He walked off. He was not looking too good. Right, he was in tears. I felt horrible for the guy. It looks, Alex Cora says he has an elbow injury. They didn't really go into detail. Hopefully it's not going to be Tommy John. He made some post-game comments saying, he's worked his butt off, to get here, and he had just all these emotions just going through him. To me, if I make the major leagues and I'm on the major league roster, and all the work that you've had to do, and then you go through something like that, yeah, I can totally understand that. That's nuts, man. Like, man, I would be a mess, Like, I compete in powerlifting, right? And I was about 3 weeks away from competing in a meet about a few months ago. And it was going to be my first meet in like 5 years. I was really like getting really excited for it. And then I injured my neck and I injured my nerves going down my arm. And I was like depressed for like a little while, like I didn't really show it on here, but man, I was just like, dang, like I was really excited to compete in this thing and it just got taken away from me like that. That's the same thing. Like I can't even imagine what these guys are doing. I'm just talking about like a hobby over here. This is their life. This is their career. And Kelly just hopefully it's not going to be Tommy John. He's going to be out for a while, but he was looking like a decent piece in this bullpen. He had a rough time there, in the outing that he had. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But either way, the Rays, hey, we got to wait and see what happens tomorrow. They're going for history tomorrow. They're going to try and tie the record for most wins to start a season. At this point, I really think they can do it. I really do. I mean, if we go to the probable pictures for tomorrow, let's go here. What do we got? So for the Red Sox, you got Kluber going tomorrow, and then for the Rays, they got Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs, Red Sox legend. But when he went to the Rays, they completely figured it out. I think the Red Sox have a chance to win this. I mean, but then again, they know Corey Kluber very well. He was just on the team. I think the Rays, I really think they can end up sweeping this series. I mean, I don't know. I always hate it when a guy is going up against his former team because it's like they got all the scouting on him. So hopefully with Kluber, he looked okay in his last start. Let's hope it carries over. Just have to wait and see. But we're looking for history tomorrow, folks. We're looking for history tomorrow. Everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. We are at 150 people in this stream. Do appreciate all of you coming by tonight, spending your Wednesday night watching my potato face. It means a lot. Anyway, let's get to another one here. Let's get to the Yankees and the Guardians. A little drama here in this one today. And the big story early on, and this was the big story all over Twitter, was it was a drop ball. Let me actually see if I can find the, oh, here it is. So again, I got to be careful playing these highlights because MLB.com, they like to smack down copyright claims. So there was a play here. The Yankees, they had, it's right under me if you can see it, but the Yankees, they had a runner on third, or no, sorry, not the Yankees. The Guardians had a runner on third. And then what ended up happening here, there was a pop-up, and here comes, I believe that's Aaron Hicks. And Aaron Hicks made a catch. He ended up not making the catch. It actually hit the ground first. So what ended up happening was Stephen Kwan on third ended up scoring. But what ended up happening was that Aaron Boone got ejected because what happened was the Guardians, they didn't initially challenge that play. So, and Aaron Boone is like thinking, why are the, how are you going to let the Guardians and, Terry Francona challenge the play? Because he didn't even challenge it right away. And actually Terry Francona made some comments on it after the game. Francona said that he wasn't really paying attention to the ball out in center field. I love me some Terry Francona, but he said he was focused more on the runner on third, and he was just waiting to see if he was going to tag up okay. And he said he wasn't even looking. So because of the delay in challenging it, Aaron Boone came out, and he got extremely frustrated. And, Aaron Boone, when he starts flipping out, and then he got ejected from the game. So that was an interesting one. There was a lot of talk about that on Twitter today. A lot of talk about the umpires. So taking a look here at the rest of the game. But the Yankees, hey, for them, didn't really matter all that much. They ended up going on to win this one 4-3. I would say the other big story here is Oswaldo Cabrera, another clutch hit. This guy's going to go play for Cleveland at some point. He hits so well in Cleveland. Remember, he had the big playoff hit. What was that, game 4 back in the playoffs last year? And here he comes up again. A big RBI hit in the 9th inning. That gave them the lead. And that was all she wrote. How can I not mention Franchi Cordero once again? This guy is Barry Bonds for the Yankees. I was just talking to my friend today. Just talking to my good friend, big Yankee fan. And he... I was telling him, it's funny how the Yankees, when they get like these guys that have been cast-offs, like Matt Carpenter last year, Franchi Cordero, they get these other guys, right, that are in the later part of their careers, like Ichiro was an example. I know I'm leaving out some other, like Raul Ibanez was another one. They get these guys, like these older guys and these cast-off guys, and they get so much out of these guys. But when they get these established players like Josh Donaldson or Joey Gallo, they just end up like being terrible. It's just so funny how the Yankees, that's such like a consistent thing. And Franchi Cordero today just coming up huge. My goodness, this guy is just all over the place. Taking a look at the box score today. Cordero, right? He's hitting 280 for them. I would have loved that. Man, would have absolutely loved that. So that ended up tying it today. Cordero's is coming up big. He is coming up so big for this Yankees team right now. For Clark Schmidt, didn't look terrible. I'm kind of starting to think like this is kind of what you're going to get out of Clark Schmidt. I think you'll get a good performance here and there. But I think for the most part, you can expect an outing like this. 4, 5, maybe 6 innings. Gives up 3-4 runs. That feels like kind of what Clark Schmidt is going to be. So, keep an eye on him. But I don't know. I feel like he's not giving Yankee fans like a whole lot of confidence right now. A little shaky today. Gave up a homer, 6 hits overall, 3 runs. But in the end, the Yankees found a way to win. Clay Holmes with the save. And so next series for both of these teams, we got The Yankees going to Minnesota. That should be a fun series. Well, you know the Yankees are going to win that series because the Twins can never beat the Yankees. That's just how it is in the history of the game. The Yankees are the Minnesota Twins' #1 kryptonite. But going in this 4-game series for the Yankees, they're going to have Michael King open up the game tomorrow. Johnny Burrito, he's going to get the start on Friday. Nestor Cortez going Saturday. And Domingo Germán going Sunday. Pablo Lopez is going to get the nod for the Twins on Sunday. He looked amazing in this past series with the White Sox. But they'll get Maeda, Maile, and Joe Ryan. Good pitching from the Twins. So this is not going to be an easy series for the Yankees at all. And as for Cleveland, coming up for them, they have a series against the Nationals. That should be a winnable series. I mean, of course, when you got Patrick Corbin on the mound, the legend Patrick Corbin going up against Shane Bieber, that should be a winnable game. You got Plesac and Quantrill going up against Williams and Cole. So let's see how that goes for the Cleveland Guardians. So, we got a super chat coming in. How you doing? Kyle Drury, do you think that the Padres win the division? If there's ever a chance for them to win this division, it is this year. But the Dodgers, hey, looking at the Dodgers so far, I think this Dodgers team is going to end up being good. Right now, 6-6, whatever. But I think this Dodgers team, I think they're going to end up being really good yet again. But hey, listen, everyone's talking Padres, Dodgers with this division. I mean, don't sleep on the Diamondbacks here. I mean, look at the D-backs. I'm just saying. They're playing some good baseball right now. They played the Dodgers really hard in that last series. You know what? I wasn't going to talk about the D-backs for a couple more games here. I was going to talk about a couple other games. But you know what? We got to go talk about the Diamondbacks. That's a great segue. Let's talk about it. Playing the Brewers today, Corbin Burns was absolutely out of his mind yesterday. 8 innings, 8 strikeouts. But Dre Jameson returned to the rotation. Listen, I told all of you, I did a video about breakout guys this year. I had Dre Jameson in there. I'm just saying, this guy's good. He's really good, man. I like me some Dre Jameson. I like Ryan Nelson for the D-backs. This Diamondbacks team just looks good. Getting the win against the Brewers today. Just going over the notes here. Jameson, he went 4 innings, 4 Ks. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's been hitting extremely well as of late. Getting a 3-run homer in the 3rd in this one. If we take a look here at the box score, Gurriel Jr., I mean, hey, this guy, he came over in that trade for Dalton Varsho, and I actually thought that was a pretty decent pickup for them because the Diamondbacks, they thought, all right, so, we're getting a young catcher here in a Gabriel Moreno. It's tough losing Varsho, but at least we can bring in a Gurriel Jr., who, I love me some Dalton Varsho, but at least with Gurriel Jr., this is a guy, he's always got crazy hair going. He's gonna bring a little life into the clubhouse. And the bat, with Gurriel Jr., he's always going to have a really solid bat. And he came up big in this one, 3 for 5 today. Corbin Carroll, 2-run homer in the 7th. That made it 7-3. He's having himself a fine rookie season. And that's all she wrote. There's really not much else to say about this one. The Diamondbacks are just looking really good right now. I actually want to go here to StatCast. I want to go take a look. Dre Jameson, he's got to, keep bumping up the innings a little bit more. He went 4. Remember, he just returned to the rotation. I would imagine he's going to stay in the rotation, I would think. But taking a look here, Jansen Junk getting the start for the Brewers today. But Dre Jameson, so he was working in some sinkers, some sliders, mostly sinkers instead of the 4-seamer today, and then throwing a couple of change-ups as well. Overall, looking pretty good. If we're taking a look at the average exit velocity on the sinker, he was only giving up an average exit velocity of 87 miles an hour. That's not too bad at all. His slider was getting hit pretty hard today. 109 miles an hour exit velocity on average there. But the 4-seamer, though, that was looking pretty good. Not giving up a lot of hard contact today with Dre Jameson. So you got to like it. I love him. I think he's going to be really solid. But Diamondbacks, hey, they're in first place right now. They're in first place. They're looking pretty good. I think this is a nice time to segue to the San Diego Padres. We had a pretty good game here today in Queens. The Mets able to win this series today. Juan Soto got us started off with a homer in the 1st. That made it 2-0 San Diego early on. The big thing with the Mets in yesterday's game, they just failed to come up with the timely hits, leaving runners on base. They've been having a bit of an issue with that over the past week, and they did it again here in the 1st. They had runners on, failed to capitalize in the 1st inning, couldn't take advantage. But Brandon Nimmo, he came up big for the Mets here today. In the 2nd, had a line drive. It dropped, It was a bit of miscommunication out there between Soto and Grisham. Ball dropped in. They were able to score a run on that. That made it 2-1. But Lindor, big homer in the third. Alonso, homer in the fifth. I mean, these two guys in the middle of their lineup. I mean, man, I think we can all agree that the Mets, it feels like they need another bat. I've said that before. But Lindor and Alonso in the middle here is looking really good. I'm liking what these two guys are doing so far. Lindor needs to pick it up a little bit, but he's been coming up with some big homers. Nimmo added another RBI base hit in the sixth inning that made it 4-2. Tommy Pham, he added an RBI that made it 5-2. David Robertson, a solid appearance out of the bullpen for him today. Inning and a third coming out of the bullpen. He got the hold. And Ottavino picking up his first save of the season. Overall, good day for the Mets. McGill getting the start today, 5 innings. McGill's been really solid for the Mets this year. 3-0, 2.25 ERA so far. I actually want to pull up McGill here. They're not going to, or actually, I wonder if they've updated the stats. Let's see. They might not have updated his stats yet. They usually don't update it until the next morning. But they didn't update it. So coming into today, ERA of a 1.64, but the FIP was looking healthy at a 3.86. So McGill's been really solid. With Verlander out, he's been coming up big for him. Liking what McGill's doing so far. He's holding it down in the rotation. As for the next couple of series, we got the Padres and we got the Brewers coming up. That should be a pretty fun series. Let's go take a look at the probable pitchers for this one. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. How you doing? I'll take a look at that in just 1 second. But taking a look here. We got a 4-game set for the Padres and the Brewers. Nick Martinez going up against Bryce Wilson. Michael Wacha, Red Sox legend, going up against Eric Lauer. Seth Lugo against Freddie Peralta. Ryan Weathers against Wade Miley. No big superstar matchups there, but should be some pretty decent pitching. Should be a pretty decent series overall. And as for the New York Mets, they're going up against Oakland. Let's go take a look at the Mets. Is there any word on Verlander? I haven't heard much about Verlander. So he had a rehab start. So let's go take a look. Or did he have a rehab start, or is this just his rehab progressing? All right, so Verlander continued to make good progress and will rehab in St. Lucie before making a minor league start. So has he made a minor league start yet? I don't know. I don't think he has, but I guess at least he's doing good. At least he's doing good. But I don't think he's made a minor league start. Encourage Mets send Justin Verlander to rehab during trip. Okay, so he should be pretty close to a rehab assignment. So good news there. But for the Mets, coming up against Oakland, you got... Ooh! Hey, fun matchup coming up here. Oh, we got a fun matchup. Listen to this one. We got Kadai Senga against Shintaro Fujinami. That's going to be a fun one. Hey, I always love it, man, when two pitchers from Japan going at it. Love that. We got Carlos Carrasco against James Kaprielian. Scherzer against JP Sears. So for the Mets, I mean, this is a series you should be able to win. But that'll be a fun matchup there on Friday. Senga against Fujinami. I like that. So let's get to the next one. So let me backtrack here. Let me go to a couple of games that I passed over. All right, here we go. Let's go to the Mariners and the Cubs. Before I do get to the Mariners and the Cubs, before we talk a little Jared Kelenic, I got to take care of the super chat here. Skull TYA Catch 84. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hope the Twins starters can keep it up. Sonny Gray has allowed 1 run in 17 innings and has 19 to 7 strikeout to walk ratio. Yeah, Sonny Gray, he's doing amazing. You know what? Okay. All right. To honor the super chat here, listen, I'll go to the Twins here. Let's go to the Twins. Here we go. White Sox and the Twins today. This has been a pretty good series. Hard-fought series. The Twins winning yesterday on the throwing error. Able to score there for the walk-off. But overall, not a whole lot of offense again in this one. Giolito looked really good today. 6 innings, 1 earned, 7 Ks for the White Sox. But Sonny Gray, like you just said, with the super chat, he's been looking really good. 5 innings today for Sonny Gray, 5 strikeouts. This Twins pitching is looking really good. I'm really enjoying this Twins pitching. It's just a good 1 through 5. I'm really enjoying it. They are, hey, when you got good pitching, you're going to be a good team. Even if your offense isn't even that great, good pitching is going to keep you in games. But for the Twins, they got good bats in this lineup. I'm liking the way the Twins are looking. But the big one came from Willie Castro here. Huge 2-run double in the 8th inning. That gave him the lead. Michael Taylor added a single there to make it 3-0. The White Sox ended up scoring in the top of the 9th, but that was all she wrote. Couldn't get anything else going. However, bit of a scary incident in this game. Kyle Farmer got hit in the face in this game with a fastball. It's tough, man. We just saw Turner get absolutely nailed, with a fastball in spring training. That's just scary, man. And then he got nailed here. It was a pretty scary sight. He's actually going to need surgery. He needs to get a realignment surgery for his teeth. So, hey, baseball. People say, baseball is like a wimpy sport. Absolutely not. I can't stand when people say that. They're like, oh, football, these guys are hitting each other and blah, blah, blah. Listen, baseball can absolutely have its moments, man. And you're getting hit with a fastball, 95 miles an hour in the face, in the noggin. That's not fun. That's not fun. But best wishes to Kyle Farmer. That was scary. But as for the Twins, they got, like I said earlier with the Yankees, it's going to be the Twins and the Yankees coming up. And for the White Sox, they got the Orioles coming up. I feel like that should actually be a pretty fun series. I actually like this because the Orioles, this is an Orioles team. I'm not quite sure what they are yet. They're showing really good things, but then there's times where they seem like they're not quite there. So this Orioles team, I'm still a little up in the air about. But with this White Sox team, you got to, sure, they're not really fully hitting their stride yet, but this team has a ton of talent. I think this is going to be a pretty fun series. Keep your eyes on this one, the White Sox and the Orioles coming up. But let's get to the Cubs and the Mariners. So as I mentioned here, as you've seen in the thumbnail, Jared Kelenic, he was the star of the show in this one. An absolute bomb. I mean, I got to play it. I mean, my goodness. I think I even got to give this a full screen, but I got to be careful here. I got to be pausing it. MLB.com, don't you put a copyright claim on me. Don't you do it. I'm promoting your game right now. Here we go. So Kelenic, it was a 98 two-seamer. My goodness. He knew it as soon as he hit it. Unbelievable. Let's just see where this one landed. I mean, what the heck? It went to the second deck out in center field. The cameraman lost it. The cameraman was thinking it was going to land here, and it landed up here. What in the world? He mashed it. Looks like it landed right here. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Kelenic that was a bomb. That was 482 feet. He said here, that's probably the furthest I've ever hit. Jared Kelenic, I think that is the furthest ball you've ever hit in your life, my friend. But the Mariners, they were all over the Cubs here today. Not really too much else to say. Kelenic had the bomb. Teoscar Hernandez and him actually went back-to-back in the 8th inning. So Kelenic had the bomb, but Hernandez actually homered right before him. So in the end, the Mariners just cruised today. Logan Gilbert, solid performance out of him on the road. Taking a look at the box score. Taking a look, he went into the 7th inning here. 4 hits, only give up a run, 7 strikeouts. Bullpen. Besides Sewald there in the 9th, Cody Bellinger hit a home run off of him. But the Mariners, really solid win for them today. They're still under 500 here. They still got some work to do. But they looked really good here today. Good pitching, timely offense, hitting bombs. You got to like what the Mariners are doing. But the big story for the Cubs today was Ian Happ signing an extension with the Cubs. 3 years, $61 million. And now I think we can officially take Ian Happ off of the board when it comes to trades. This is a guy who was a possible trade candidate last year, and I think it's safe to say this guy's going to be with the Cubs a little bit. So 3 years, $61 million. Good for Ian Happ. Good player. He had a good season last year. And, hey, this just shows to me the Cubs, hey, they weren't thinking about doing any rebuilds. They were not thinking about it at all. They weren't even thinking about trading this guy. They wanted this guy for the next few years. I'm excited to see where the Cubs are in the next couple of years. Look out. Look out in the offseason. There were also some reports with Shohei Ohtani and the Cubbies. taking a look here. So there was a story with the Cubs possibly being a sleeper for Shohei Ohtani, according to Mr. Bob Nightingale. He says here, yet the sleeper in the Ohtani free agent frenzy, several baseball executives predict, are the Chicago Cubs. They were the only team outside the AL West and the NL West that were on Ohtani's original list when he left Japan 6 years ago, and certainly they have plenty of money stored up to pay Ohtani whatever he desires. So an American League executive was quoted as saying, I could easily see him going to Chicago. So, hey, could the Cubs pull it off? Because, I mean, if you look at their squad right now, they are trying to set themselves up to be a winning team. I think that showed, signing Stroman a couple of years ago, signing Jameson Taillon. They got some good young pitching here. With Steele, you got Wesneski. He did get hit pretty hard the other day, but I like Wesneski. There's a lot to like with him. So it feels like the Cubs are, maybe a year or two away from being just a really good team in the National League. And if they can land Ohtani, that'd be massive. Absolutely massive. So keep your eyes out for the Cubs. Again, Bob Nightingale saying that Ohtani and the Cubs are a sleeper for Ohtani, and executives are saying that they would not be surprised to see him go to Chicago. But as for the Cubs, we got a series here against the Dodgers coming up. That's a pretty fun series. I like that for the Cubs. Justin Steele going up against Noah Syndergaard. Jameson Taillon against Michael Grove. Smiley against Urias. Hey, good solid matchup there. I'll be excited to watch that one. So that starts on Friday. Day off for the Cubs tomorrow. And for the Mariners, who do they got? They got the Colorado Rockies coming up. We got Marco Gonzalez against Austin Gomber, George Kirby against Ryan Feltner, and Luis Castillo up against Noah Davis. So that is at Seattle. That is in Seattle. So going back home for the Mariners. But a big win today. Let's move on to the Astros and the Pirates. Fun game yesterday for the Pirates. Walk-off home run, G1 Bay. But the Astros, they came ready to play today. They weren't fooling around. Alex Bregman, he's not fooling around at all right now. This guy's homered in back-to-back games in this series. He likes Pittsburgh. Maybe he can go play in Pittsburgh one day. He likes playing there. But Corey Jokes here. He's the guy right here on the screen. First Major League home run. He was the number 29 prospect coming into this year. Hey, this is a guy with some power. He's got some speed. Corey Joke, he's a decent-looking player, man. And last year in AAA, he had 31 homers and 22 stolen bases. So, Corey Joke, look out for him. Getting a homer today. Jose Urquidy looked really good for the Astros today. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed. Just nothing going for the Pirates today. Held to 3 hits, so not a whole lot to talk about in this one. The Astros, they're just looking like the defending World Series champions in this one. But overall, really enjoyed what Pittsburgh did in this series. Losing O'Neal Cruz, that was a toughie. But the way they bounced back, with the walk-off home run, that was really good to see. But Pittsburgh, hey, in the end, I'm excited to see where they end up going this season. Will they be in the wild card hunt? I hope so. That'd be just awesome. I'd love to see the Pirates in the wild card hunt. But either way, Houston Astros, they got a fun series coming up. The all-Texas matchup. We got Luis Garcia. We got Martin Perez. Hunter Brown against John Gray. Framber Valdez against Andrew Heaney. That's a really fun matchup on Sunday. Andrew Heaney just had 9 strikeouts in a row in his last start. That guy's nasty. And Framber Valdez, 2 lefties. That should be a fun matchup on Sunday. I'm definitely keeping my eyes on the Astros and the Rangers coming up. And as for Pittsburgh, let's see who they got next. They got 4 against the St. Louis Cardinals starting tomorrow. No rest for the weary. Vince Velasquez against Jordan Montgomery. Johan Oviedo, Jake Woodford, Roansy Contreras going up against Steven Matz, and Mitch Keller against Miles Michaelis. Miles Michaelis has been getting hit hard this year, man. I think he's given up like 80 hits already. So, man, the Pirates, man, you got Mitch Keller on the mound. He's doing pretty decent this year. I mean, I'm just saying, I think they can go win that game. But that'll be a fun one. It's always nice seeing the Pirates and the Cardinals when they're playing well. I remember going back, the mid-2000s there, or not the mid-2010s, the early 2010s, when the Pirates were looking good. Those are fun games to watch between those two. So hopefully we can get some good baseball between those two coming up. Speaking of the St. Louis Cardinals, let's get to the Cardinals here. Playing the Rockies, Nolan Arenado going back to his former stomping grounds in Colorado in the series, but the Cardinals taking the win here. This was a day game. But the big hit today was Nolan Gorman, 2-run home run in the 8th. That gave St. Louis the lead. They added another one in the 9th. But some history made here today. History made. My goodness. Jordan Walker, he is in some company right now. He has gotten a hit in his 12th straight game to open his career. He already passed Ted Williams on that list, and now he has tied Eddie Murphy. So he's one game away from having the all-time record for hits, consecutive hits to start your career. I'm just saying, Jordan Walker at this point, I think he's going to be one of the best players of all time. And when you're in that kind of a mix with Eddie Murray and Ted Williams, I mean, come on. That's not too bad if you ask me. I love me some Jordan Walker, man. I'm loving all the success he's having. Brock says in the chat, Walker is the only player keeping me sane right now. Hey, you got to love it when the Cardinals, they're not quite there yet. But when you got a guy like Walker, he's kind of like that consistent player for them. And he's just chasing history. We got a lot of history going on right now in the early part of the season. The Rays chasing history. Jordan Walker chasing history. I always love that. But, hey, actually, you know what I really want to talk about with the Cardinals in this game? This was fun. Jack Flaherty. He only had one walk today. My goodness. Jack Flaherty, I think he walked about 35 hitters in his first couple of starts. This guy was all over the place. He only had one walk. Good for Jack Flaherty. Oh, we got a new member. Suhan Patel. How you doing, my friend? I hope I didn't box your name. I apologize if I do. But welcome to being a member, my friend. I do greatly appreciate that. Hey, memberships are there, everyone. If you want to go sign up, I got 3 tiers, 99 cents, $1.99, and $2.99. So welcome to the membership, my friend. I appreciate you. And back to this game. But Nolan Gorman, again, big hit there in the 8th, 2-run home run, gave them the lead. Goldschmidt had a couple of doubles in this one. Good game for the Cardinals today. Oh, Tyler O'Neill hit a bomb. Tyler O'Neill's been in the news lately. Him and, Marmol don't really seem to, they're not seeing eye to eye lately, but Tyler O'Neill hit an absolute bomb, 461 feet. Jared Kelenic took the prize today for the longest home run, but he hit himself a bomb. Exit velocity right around 108 miles an hour. Hey, man, Tyler O'Neill. Gotta love what he's doing. But let's go take a look. Actually, I already talked about who these two teams are playing. St. Louis against Pittsburgh and Colorado going up against Seattle. So where are we at here? I got a few more games to talk about. Let's go to the Marlins and the Phillies. How about the Marlins? I mean, what is going on here? This Marlins team is taking it to the defending National League champions. I mean, my goodness. Did the Phillies jinx themselves? Did they jinx themselves by posting their National League championship rings? Did anyone see that? Did anyone see that on Twitter? They posted all these in-depth pictures of their National League championship rings. And I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? Listen, I get it. But, making it to the World Series, it's not the easiest thing. I get it. But, man, you're showing these elaborate details of your National League championship rings, not your World Series rings. It was just a little, I don't know, I get it, take pride in getting to the World Series, but I don't know, it's a little odd. I see pictures like that for World Series champions. I don't know, I saw that. People are throwing hot dogs in the stands yesterday. What is going on right now in Philly land? What is happening right now with the Phillies? They're 4-8. People are throwing hot dogs. They're celebrating their National League championship rings. I don't know what's going on right now with these Phillies. But the Marlins, they look good. Eber Cabrera, he looked better today, going 5 innings, 2 earned. Zach Wheeler did look really good in this one. 6 innings, 1 earned, 6 Ks. But the Marlins were down 2-1 heading into the 8th, and Jorge Soler had himself a game-tying home run in this one. All right, I'm gonna try to start playing some highlights. I just got to be really careful with them. Oh, Soler hit an absolute bomb. My goodness. I love when Jorge Soler is just hitting bombs. That he is good for the game of baseball when he is just hitting tater tots all over the place. Gotta love that. But Brian De La Cruz in this one had the go-ahead single. I told all of you, look out for Brian De La Cruz this year. Go to my Breakout Stars video. And Brian De La Cruz had the go-ahead single there. And that was all she wrote. I think he's going to have himself a good season. He's looking really good so far. Taking a look at the box. What's his batting average at right now? He's hitting 257. But overall, he's hitting pretty well. The OPS has dropped a little bit, but it was over 800 a couple of games ago. But he's doing all right. He's got 7 RBIs so far. This is a guy who had some decent advanced numbers last year, and he's coming up in some spots here for the Marlins in the early going. So overall, I'm liking what the Marlins are doing right now. 6-7. You know, still not fully, it feels like they're not fully there yet, but Luis Arise is looking like Barry Bonds up there. Actually, I would say Luis Arise looks more like Ty Cobb right now. The guy's just hitting everything. He's hitting for a little power, but Luis Arise, man, getting the cycle yesterday. What a day for him. But let's shift gears here. We got a few more games to talk about. We are still 150 strong. I appreciate all of you coming out. Really do appreciate that. Everyone, if you can, before I get to these last few games, if you can, smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Share the stream for people that have missed the stream so far, and they can catch it later on. But again, really appreciate all of you coming out. So like I said, I really want to start doing more of these post games not every single night, because my brain would just die at that point. But I really want to start doing a post, a nightly stream to go over all of these games. To me, I just enjoy doing it. So taking a look at the last few games here, let's go take a look at the Tigers and the Blue Jays. Oh, the Blue Jays pulled it out. Oh, the Tigers had the lead earlier. Oh, man. Oh, man. When I was getting ready for the stream, the Tigers had the lead. Oh, Toronto tied it. Oh, man. The Blue Jays walk it off. So Kirk had game-tying sac fly. So bear with me here. I'm just catching up with this game now. When I'm getting ready for everything, it's hard for me to keep track of the games because I got to take notes on all of these games. So let's take a look at how this happened here. So, okay, we're in the bottom of the ninth. Chapman walked. So that moved Vlad over. So Vlad got on base. Then a wild pitch. They both moved up to second and third. Varsho got hit. So that loaded the bases and there were no outs. So then Whit Merrifield had a sac fly. Kirk had a sac fly. So that tied it up at 3. So let's go take a look here at George Springer's walk-off home run. MLB.com. I swear to God, if you hit me with a copyright claim, I'm doing helpful things to you right now, so don't you lay a claim on me. Wait, what? Was it a walk-off home run? Oh, it wasn't a walk-off home run. Wait. I thought it said home run right there. So it was a little chopper. Oh, yeah. So it just went through. He just squeaked it through. I thought I read home run. My brain is starting not to work. But hey, George Springer coming up with a little poker up the middle. And the Blue Jays win it. Hey, good first homestand for the Blue Jays, man. Making renovations to Rogers Center. Grass is looking different. Even the dirt is looking different. You got some nice, fancy new bars out there in the outfield. The fans are a little closer to the players now when it comes to like the bullpen and the fans in the stands in the outfield. Gotta love it, man. And that's hey, good win for the Blue Jays, especially Gausman. He pitched out of his mind today. Look at his stats here for today. 8 innings, 11 strikeouts. My goodness, Kevin Gausman. That's my AL Cy Young pick right there. Come on, Gausman, keep it up. Just don't do it against my Red Sox, please. But Eduardo Rodriguez got the start here for the Tigers. He looked pretty good. 6 innings, gave up a run, 3 Ks. Chapman continues to have himself a really good year. Man, Matt Chapman. What the heck is going on here? Jeez. I mean, look at the numbers here. 489 batting average, a 538 on base, an OPS of 1.389. He's got 3 homers, 15 RBIs. I mean, my goodness. What the heck's going on? Matt Chapman. Could he be an MVP candidate? He's off to a red-hot start this year. So, but for the Tigers, that's a bummer of a loss because they were up 3-1. I was literally getting ready for the stream, and they had a 3-1 lead. The Blue Jays didn't even have anyone on base or anything. I think it was in between innings when I last checked. Hey, good win for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays Today. Go check out their channel if you're a Blue Jays fan. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you should probably know that channel by now. But they give great coverage of the Blue Jays. They are an awesome couple of guys, fun couple of guys. Go check them out, Blue Jays Today. They're absolutely fantastic. And taking a look here, Angels and the Nationals. Not a whole lot of drama in this one. Not a whole lot of drama, but the Angels pulling it out here today. When you're playing the Nationals, you should be winning these games. But the story for the Angels here today, Griffin Canning back in the major leagues for the first time in almost 2 years. Had himself a good outing today. 5 innings, 4 Ks. Not too bad. Give up a couple of runs. But I would say, actually, the guy that really came up big here for the Angels here today was Brett Phillips. Brett Phillips. Hey, look at Brett Phillips doing things with the Angels. Hey, you all, if you've been with me for the last few years, if you remember, I was doing a live stream watch along of the Dodgers and the Rays in the World Series in 2020. And when Brett Phillips came up with that hit, I was screaming. I'm like, who the heck is Brett Phillips? And he became an instant legend, man. Do any of you in the chat, were you there that night? Let me know in the chat. Were you there that night with me when Brett Phillips got that walk-off? That was like the craziest game. I still remember that. My neighbor, she complained. She left a note on my door because I was just screaming everywhere. That was fun. Zachary Goldstein, you were here. I remember that. That's fun, man. Good times. Rangers and the Royals. The story here was Corey Seager. Well, I wouldn't say the story of the game, but Corey Seager, side note, is going on the IL. Hamstring. Where's the Rangers and the Royals? Oh, here it is. Goodness gracious. But the Royals, they really put up a lot on the Rangers here today. It was just all Royals in this one. The last time I had checked this, I think Kansas City was up. What was the score? I remember I checked this game. It was like the 6th inning, so it was 6-1 at that point. But they had a big 7th inning there that I did not catch. But Bobby Witt Jr., Pasquantino, good games for them today. Look at Bobby Witt Jr. with a triple and an RBI. 3 stolen bases here for Bobby Witt Jr. That's the kind of player that we've all been expecting. Pasquantino had a home run. But Brad Keller, really solid outing for him today. 6 2/3, 7 Ks, 3 hits allowed, earned run. Melendez had a double there in this game that scored 2 early on. Hey, not much else to say about this one. Eovaldi got rocked by the Royals in this one. And, hey, easy win for the Royals here today. But the Rangers, they got the Astros coming up. That's going to be a fun one. As for Kansas City, who does Kansas City got coming up next? You know, with Kansas City right now, you're just paying attention to some of these players. As a team, I don't know. They're not really going to have much, but they got just fun players on this team. They got the Braves coming up. We got Brady Singer going up against Charlie Morton, Chris Bubick going up against Bryce Elder, Greinke going up against Kyle Wright. Hey, at least we got Zach Greinke on this team too. He's always fun to watch. So that'll be, should be an easy series there for the Braves. Should be an easy series. But that is actually where I am going to end up going here to wrap things up. Let's talk about the Braves. Let's talk about the Reds. Well, the Braves are looking really good here. 9-4. They dropped their series against the Padres, but they're bouncing back in this series. Hunter Green, I know the Braves ended up winning this game, but I love Hunter Green. Hunter Green is fantastic. This guy was just bananas today. 6 innings, 10 Ks. He was just blowing stuff by this Braves team. They got some offense against him. Eddie Rosario went 2 for 4, had a homer, had a double, had an RBI. Ronald Acuna Jr., he's off to a really good start. Quietly off to a really good start this year. Taking a look at the stats here with Acuna, hitting .370 with a .452 on base, .989 OPS, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. He's got 6 stolen bases. Ronald Acuna Jr., man. I mean, I'm talking about Matt Olson as an MVP candidate. What did Matt Olson do in this game? Did he get anything going here? Olson's just been crazy. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Matt Olson today, 4 Ks. Oof. What is going on, Matt Olson? This guy was just looking crazy. I don't think he's had I think that's probably his worst game of the season so far. Austin Riley with a solid one. Eddie Rosario, like I said, had a couple of hits. But hey, in the end, the Braves getting a good game here overall. Strider got the start in this one, 9 Ks overall. With Spencer Strider, this guy's just going to be striking out guys left and right. At this point, I'm pretty much, just ready. If I'm going to be looking at a Spencer Strider stat line, I'm going to be expecting at least 8, 9, 10 Ks from him. This guy he's crazy. But Braves bullpen coming up big. Kirby Yates, hey, getting the win in this one. Kirby Yates, man, this guy was so good in 2019, and he has just lost his way. But he's with the Braves. He's contributing. I love it. I love when Kirby Yates is contributing. Minter getting the save, his second save of the season. But anyway, in the end, that's all she wrote there. But everyone, I think I'm going to start wrapping this up here. It is 11 o'clock or 11:09 here on my end on the East Coast. I got to work in the morning. I'm tired. I got to get ready for bed. I got to start winding things down. But everyone, I want to thank you for coming out. I mean, we had a solid night tonight. About 150, 160 people strong the entire time. Always appreciate every single one of you coming out. Again, I said this a couple of times already. I would like to make this a nightly thing. So the more all of you keep coming out and watching, it keeps me going too. So it keeps my my motivation up to be able to do this kind of a thing nightly. And I do really appreciate the super chats tonight. Always greatly appreciated. Always thankful for that. Everyone, I'm wrapping this one up. If you can, on the way out, hit that like button for me. Smash the crap out of it. Like the hit button. Hit the like button. Like the hit button. Hit the bell notification. Share the stream if you can. Oh, we got a member. Oscar Cervantes, how you doing, my friend? How you doing, my friend? Man, oh man, that was a walk-off membership sign-up right there, right at the end. Oscar, I appreciate you, my friend. Welcome to the membership. I do appreciate that. You got Pablo. Oh, wait, did you upgrade it? I can't remember. Pablo Lopez, is he? I think Pablo. No, I don't remember. Because I do the different, like the different, what do you call those? The badges? I think they're badges, right? But yeah, Pablo Lopez, I think he's right near the top. Anyway, I'm going blank. Anyway, Oscar, thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend. Have yourself a great night, everyone. I'm out of here. Go get yourself some sleep. Tomorrow is Thursday. I will be back yet again tomorrow night. Expect me to be here around this time, all right? Maybe, right around 10 o'clock. That's kind of when games are starting to wrap up. And I said this last night. If this was last year, I wouldn't be doing this because these games last year, they were going on until like 11, even like 11:30 some nights. Like it was way too late. But now that games are moving quicker, this is way more doable now. So this is why I feel like I can do this now, doing these post games every night. So anyway, I'll see you all back tomorrow night, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have yourself a great day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you next time.